Yeah, we have 2,300 mushrooms. Hi, I'm Two-Siders. Welcome back to Against the Storm. This game, we are going to be building the biggest, longest settlement that we've ever created outside of Seal Forests. This is the perfect game to demonstrate the power of Fungal Guide. We had plus 17 to mushroom production. We also had a bunch of cornerstones to reduce hostility and some other good stuff. There were 0 fertile soil we found on this map, and we had to roll the dice to get the giant proto-fungus in the last second. So I hope you check out this video. Thanks. I've completed 2 settlements off camera. So we got some parts and we got some extra gold for every new settlement in the cycle, but we do get the free villagers and the 15 crystallized dew. If you recall from the previous videos, go check them out on my channel. The Harpy Utopia and the Lizard Surprise Child settlement. Because we are going into the marshlands, I will take 2 camps with us. We want to cut into those large resources in the Forbidden Glades as soon as possible. By the way, I'm not sure why my camera is lagging so much. My computer has been acting crazy. I downloaded an application that automatically cuts videos for me. I mean, cuts out the silence. Someone just made that application. Kinda bad, but I appreciate it nonetheless. The positive glade event is that you get more resource charges if you discover glades in the drizzle season. We have the dinosaur bones, where throughout the storm, mines offer a resolve negative, a resolve debuff. We also have stacks sacrificed in the hearth. You can only sacrifice 1 fewer stacks. Water disappears from water engines if you used water in the storm season, and more food being eaten throughout the breaks. Of course, at different hostility levels, that is. We start with the frogs and the harpies. Now, it's a good idea to have the frog hearth keeper, though you also don't want to get too many villagers too quickly. The commonality between the frogs and the harpies, of course, is that they both eat paste, a plus 6 resolve providing food, and they both have boots because harpies wear both boots and coats. This is going to be an extremely long game. Overall, it took 1 hour and 50 minutes, which is something I aim to cut down through these videos. We get the brickyard as the initial choice. Is pretty much as good as getting a lumber mill if you have frogs. Frogs require a bunch of bricks. Of course, the forum is the frog service building, but the brickyard is just too good to pass up. We could not have gotten a better initial building. Here are the first cornerstone choices. Small press is something that I do like. As you already know from a previous episode, Book of Water is something I do not like. Exploration contract is not something I like either. I don't like cutting into glades for no reason. Fiery wrath, sacrifice, burn longer for every impatience point. It's definitely much better to get fiery wrath in later prestige levels. Initially, it's just kind of useless in my opinion. But we pick up the exploration contract. Might as well pick that one up. We're gonna cut into some glades, especially in the marshlands. So getting plus reed and plus clay is okay, though I would much more prefer more resources for cutting into glades, which is a danger in and of itself because of the increased hostility. The first orders are not so unique. They're not really anything special. We're gonna get some glade cutting done in the first 2 quests. We get an easy one. Use coats. Well, harpies come with coats, and we can just get that done really easily, though I should really go into the consumption control. And yeah, good thinking, Two-Siders from 3 weeks ago, because I learned how to use the consumption control. We want to make sure that harpies don't use coats in this season because it's completely wasted on them. They're not even generating reputation for us. We want to keep the coats for those storm seasons so the harpies don't actually leave us, right? So we're just gonna turn off the consumption control. This will make them a little bit angrier, the harpies, but it's alright. They're at 6 resolve anyways. Now, believe it or not, we get extremely... Oh, never mind, we don't get lucky. I was gonna say we get extremely lucky because we get a large trapper camp from this small glade, thanks to the frog ability that reveals to us the closest salvageable building. However, we did already bring a trapper camp with us to this settlement, so that's not great, to be honest. Still, we're gonna repair that, and especially on these higher prestige levels where all the gathering camps cost 5 parts instead of 3 parts. Spending the 2 parts to repair that camp is actually really nice because we are saving 3 parts. So it's kind of funny how the developers didn't really change the number of parts required for reconstructing salvaged buildings. We cut into a dangerous glade, and we get probably the coolest dangerous glade event, and also a forager's camp that, by the way, in case you're wondering, that's the second building that we brought with us. So we found a trapper camp and a forager's camp, large ones, that we already brought with us. Oh my god, dude. Please give us an herbalist camp or something, right? Oh, never mind. Hang on. Oh, okay, sorry, I was wrong. I didn't bring a trapper camp with us. I brought a forager's camp and an herbalist camp, so I must have changed it the last second. So the trapper camp is actually, I guess, useful. The forager's camp, not so much. Altar of Decay, we really want to do the right option here to perform the ritual and get a decoration building that rewards us hostility reduction, I'm pretty sure, for every villager death, but we don't have any complex items to perform that part of the event, and we really need to work on it as soon as possible because 13 minutes and it takes like 7 minutes to complete. So at this prestige level, you just gotta start ASAP on these stupid glade events. I picked up the fishing hut, right? I think I saw, yeah. Because we didn't find any fertile soil. I don't want to pick a farming building just for no reason. The pantry is great because it produces porridge and pie for the frogs, and also packs of luxury materials are nothing to scoff at. However, boots are also nice in the tool shop for these 2 species. We are already at minus 21 resolve for the harpies because of the Altar of Decay. So really what I should have done is wait until the end of the storm. Like I said, you do need to start this ASAP. However, losing like 5 or 6 members of your village is not a great start either, so we're just gonna wait until the end of the storm. Hopefully we can still complete this event in the drizzle season. Now, what you need to know about the Altar of Decay, the left side of the event that we are completing, it basically increases hostility for every wildfire essence that we have in the warehouse. Now, the only way to get rid of wildfire essences is because you cannot use them for any recipes, right? Normally you can just turn on a recipe in a building and it will take all the stuff from a bunch of stuff from the warehouse and deliver it. So you can do like the event where there's a fiery skull looking thing that eats all of your fuel. Well, what you can do is turn on, for instance, the smelter recipes, and villagers will carry a bunch of fuel to the smelter instead of the warehouse, so the glade event won't eat your fuel. In this case, we can't do that because wildfire essence is not used in any recipes. However, what we can do is reconstruct 2 extra hearths that use the wildfire essence as input materials, and then at the end, if the hearths are in a bad position or whatever, we can just destroy them. And even if we don't have enough bricks and planks and whatever else you need for a hearth, that's fine. The villagers will still carry all of our wildfire essence to those hearths, which means that hostility will get increased by nothing, right? For the glade event. I don't want to say it's a 400 IQ move, but you guys know me, so compared to me, that's a 400 IQ move. The second year, the cornerstone upgrade, well, it's kind of, I don't know what the word is, it's not ironic, but, you know, we've been fed Safe Haven, right? So, Safe Haven reduces hostility by 40 for every hearth level. Well, or I put down 2 hearths, maybe we'll construct them, maybe we don't, but, yeah, we're just gonna get a bunch of hostility reduction through these hearths. Might as well pick that one. I don't usually pick that one. I prefer the other cornerstone options that we had over there. But, yeah, let's do that. Seems good. Seems good. Villagers started working on the glade, and as you can see, we incur no extra hostility other than the one that we already have. So, good job. We pre-constructed some hearths, and there is no hostility increase. We can complete the first order for some extra villagers, and of course we get another reputation building blueprint. The workshop seems really inviting. However, we already have a brickyard for 3-star bricks, so the supplier, you know, the only thing we are really wasting by picking the supplier is the 2-star fabric recipe, because the other building would provide that, but I'm alright with that. We need flour anyways, because even though harpies don't really eat biscuits anymore, both frogs and the lizard, the secret third race, both eat pies, so we can use the flour to create pies in the future. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, we're already low on fuel, and this will be the theme throughout this settlement, is the stupid fuel and the tree cutting. It's just gonna be really painful. So what's super crazy is that, of course, we spent some parts to reconstruct the forager's camp, but when you destroy, we only spent 2 parts, right? But destroying it gives us 5 parts. So it's a really good idea at these prestige levels to just reconstruct the camps anyways, because you will get free no-cost parts for that, and parts are extremely valuable at these prestige levels when all the buildings cost more materials. Now we get Zorg, and he always brings amazing perks and cornerstones. The greenhouse is absolutely necessary for survival. The most overpowered tactic in this game is to get something like the greenhouse and like mushroom, no spoilers, but something like the mushroom perk that will increase mushroom production every 25 times it's produced. The other thing that I really like I said before, is for 23 gold we see the Viceroy survival guide right there. That will increase fruit gathering and food production by 20%. So both all gathering, it doesn't work maybe for farms, but maybe it does, I don't remember. If it does, it's even more broken, to be honest. And even food production, so all the complex food production in buildings. However, as you saw there, it's extremely expensive, 23 gold, because we are playing on a high prestige level that already increases all the perk costs. And it's not just that all these perks cost twice the amount of money. Everything we sell sells for half as much. So in a way, if you think about it, the stupid perks that the trader offers are 4 times as expensive as before, which is something I don't really like about this game, because I do love the perks. I do like buying perks from the traders. Is something that makes the game more interesting to me personally. Now we got a 6-minute timed quest to get the neighborhood level up to level 2, and I failed this quest a few times before because of frogs or because of other reasons. The other 2 orders were actually really nice too. The non-timed orders also offered some perks, so they were also not bad, to be honest, but we passed up on them. Now we get Fungus Guide. Fungus Guide, like I said, I didn't want to spoil it, but that is the cornerstone that will increase mushroom production every 25 times it's produced. And the reason why that is so overpowered, there are other versions for meat, for grains or whatever, but the reason why the grain version of this cornerstone is bad is because you get a lot of grain few times. And how these cornerstones work is you don't have to produce 25 mushrooms. You have to produce mushrooms 25 times. For which the greenhouse is perfect, because the greenhouse produces only like 4 mushrooms every cycle, every production cycle, but the production cycle itself is really fast. Okay, so you'll get that mushroom number up in no time. And I don't want to probably already said, but in this settlement it's gonna be extremely difficult, it's gonna be extremely long. That's what she said, I know, but the mushrooms will save us because it will go up to plus 17. So instead of producing 4 mushrooms in the greenhouse, by the very end we'll produce 21 mushrooms each cycle. we are starting to create a little hub. And luckily, we completed the timed order as well for the houses or the neighborhood level built. Luckily, I didn't misread it as... Sometimes I misread it as, oh, just one level 2 half. No, it's sometimes 2 or whatever. We have frogs, and for frogs, you need frog buildings that require bricks, so you can't just spam shelters for the neighborhood level. So I messed that order up sometimes. Anyways, we created a hub right there. That will not remain until the end of the game, but you do need to throw down some extra hearths. And let's just keep this trader. By the way, I buy the greenhouse from him eventually. Oh, we get offered a wrench, which is also really good. Come on, two-siders, just sell something. Now, hello. I remember why I didn't buy the greenhouse and the fungal guide up that fast. So, you see, we are in a situation where the trader... We just got fungal guide, so we really need to produce mushrooms, okay? The trader offers us the building with mushrooms, but I don't want to spend a lot of useless money for the greenhouse if in case we cut into this dangerous, this forbidden glade, and it has a giant proto mushroom that we can gather from until the end of the game anyways, that just has mushrooms, 1,000 charges of mushrooms until the end of the game. I don't want to spend money at the trader in case we cut, but we cannot cut into the forbidden glade in time. As you heard, the trader just left, right? I should have cut into the glade earlier, but like I'm showing you with my hand, I already have 2 woodcutter camps, so it's just right now I'm gambling. Okay, it's absolutely gambling. We have 33% chance of getting the giant mushroom, or 66% chance to get the giant whale for the trapper camp, or the giant wheat for the forager's camp. We need to get really lucky to get the mushroom, because I already picked up the fungal guide like an idiot, right? I shouldn't have picked it up until we cut into this glade. But guess what? 33% chance, and we get the giant proto-fungus. Jesus Christ, that just saved our ass. I'm not even sure if we would have won without that, because, again, we wouldn't have had mushroom production at all, because I didn't pick up the greenhouse from the trader. And also, I just picked up a useless cornerstone then, right? This was an extremely difficult game, and I don't think we could have won without that 33% chance. We also pick up a grill. Really nice for the lizard skewers, actually. And there's a hungry mistworm here. I would like to do the feed option here, because the tablets we can sell to traders. Heavy fog makes it impossible to see past. Yeah. So we will do the feed option, and it's an absolutely useless, doesn't matter, negative effect where you just can't see if it's a dangerous glade or a forbidden glade until the end of the event. But you probably already memorized which one is a dangerous glade and which one is a forbidden glade, so it doesn't even matter. And you can tell that it's a dangerous glade by the size of it, so it doesn't even matter, right? Now, all of a sudden, we're gonna go from, look at that, 0% blight rot right next to my finger. Because of the prestige difficulty on the 3rd year, you just get, oh, I don't know, 265% blight rot at the same time, just in 1 second. The reason why you are confused is because on lower than prestige 10, or whatever we are playing on prestige 11, 12, 10, whatever, lower than that, blight rot is not as deadly, so it would only be like 135%, which is still a lot, but 265% is insane. I don't even know how many blight rot that is. I guess blight rot is deadlier, so it's the same amount, it's just more percentages, right? So we absolutely need to slam down a blight post. We are already running out of wood. We just don't have good fuel at all in this settlement, okay? Luckily we completed the coat, so we can get +2 coats, but we don't even have a coat production building, so it doesn't even matter. Lizards and harpies are generating resolve, which is okay. Now, what I'm worried about is to feed the hungry mistworm, we need meat, which makes sense, and we have a trapper camp, but I just had to turn off all the consumption regarding the meat and all the recipes, because if we can't do that, then the mistworm just, I don't even know what he does in 30 minutes, but I don't want to find out. Now, regarding the cornerstone or the blueprint choices, of course, we're gonna pick up wrench. I mean, we could have picked up a cold production building for the harpies, but the wrench is insane-o. Harpies need wrench, lizards need wrench, frogs also need wrench because they eat paste, right? And you can use it for the pies. Pretty much, guys, if you see harpies and lizards in your settlement, just pick up wrench. It's so necessary. Both of them eat jerky that requires meat. Skewers need meat, or maybe mushroom can be supplemented instead of meat, but skewers need meat. Paste needs meat for the harpies and the frogs in this case. Meat is just so important, and there's no other way to reproduce it consistently other than the wrench. Now, people in the community, newer players said the same thing I said before, is that wrench is kind of bad, it feels bad, and it is difficult to make it work because it's kind of a mid-game building. You need a couple of extra workers, you know, to spend there and to have another farm or some kind of production to feed the wrench. But feeding the wrench is awesome, is because it requires 5 resources and you get 10 meat back. Especially recommended to boost the wrench through drizzle water, but drizzle water is still kind of the most common type of geyser that you can find, and I'm pretty sure we found some geysers already. If not, just I would just probably create a water collection building, especially with the frogs we have. It's kind of a must, just so we can feed the drizzle wrench. But again, if they're working throughout the whole year, then you have all sorts of watercolors for all sorts of buildings. Now, luckily, 265% corruption is not too bad, because we were insightful and we created the fuel in time. It's mostly about the fuel. Okay, you don't really need multiple blight posts as long as you have the fuel, and we did. So the hearth is not gonna get corrupted. We get a timed order to cut into 5 glades in the next 10 minutes. You know what we say to that? Absolutely no, bitch. That will actually lose us the game. I hate those orders so much. We get the forum quest, where the reward is, well, as you guessed it, the forum, the frog forum. So even though we don't know how to make weapons or wine, I'm just gonna pick it up, because the other option is 2 loyalty events, and I don't really even if you got into other glades, there's such a low chance of getting loyalty glade events. It's not even funny. That one that we just picked up is awesome though. The order, we're gonna throw in, yeah, a level 2. We need 2 level 2 geysers. I misread that and I thought that was 1 level 1 geyser, and that effed with me for so long in this game, I'm telling you, because we have to cut into another glade for another geyser now. We also gotta throw in 20 bricks and 20 fabric for that order, but we're gonna get +2 whatever, planks and, yeah, bricks and planks, so that's alright. My throat is still not 100% and I'm kind of coughing because I'm talking so fast, so apologies. Unfortunately, Crude Workstation is still the place to create that fabric, and funnily enough, that's the only thing we're not gonna get a +1 for through the order, but that's alright. It kind of hurts because harpies require fabric, actually 6 fabric at this prestige level for each of their houses, which is not good. But it's a funny relationship the prestige 6 difficulty has with the houses. We gotta get another safe haven. Yeah, of course, dude. So we already picked up safe haven, -40, minus hostility for each level 2 hearth or whatever. We're just gonna pick that up. It's actually so broken to stack cornerstones, in my opinion, because you're probably gonna work to pick up a cornerstone and you're gonna work towards that strategy. You're gonna strengthen hearts in this case. And another one, yeah, sure, let's pick up another one. Let me know in the comment section below if you think they should disallow multiple of the same cornerstones from showing up, because it's kind of interesting. I wouldn't really mind if they removed that to make the game a little bit more interesting. I don't want to pick up these same overpowered cornerstones multiple times. I want to try out new strategies, and sometimes the only way is to, well, the only way is to just force people, right? Now, from Sahilda, we really want, not the farm. For 24 gold, she has -25 fuel consumption in the hearth. Extremely important, guys. We have really really bad fuel production. The only fuel production we have in this settlement is cutting out wood. And that's not good because that requires more woodcutters that will increase hostility more. We don't have any efficient fuel. The other thing that we unfortunately do have, or fortunately unfortunately, is multiple hearths. 3 hearths will require 3 times as much wood to burn. So we are in a bad position, and I know that if nothing else, we need to pay Sahilda 24 gold for that minus 25 fuel reduction, because technically with the 3 hearths that's going to be minus 75, right? Fuel used, separated by 3 hearths, right? It's still gonna be minus 25%. I'm just saying that it's useful because it's more hearths, right? So I'm just as baffled as you are. This game was played 3 weeks ago, so I don't remember what I did here. I didn't pick up the minus 25% fuel usage from Sahilda because I didn't want to spend, I guess, so many parts just paying for that. I didn't really have anything else to sell, unfortunately. And that's really gonna hurt us, but I kind of understand myself because running out of parts is one of the worst things that can happen to you. It means that you cannot create more warehouses, you cannot create more camps, you cannot create stupid rain collectors that cost 5 parts. We're gonna get some interesting choices. We're gonna get 2 service buildings, even though we were offered something or the forum as an order, but it's hard to complete. I really like this is probably my favorite service building, is the clan hall for the lizards. In case you didn't know, its ability, it's 3-man ability. It also has a 2-man ability since the new patch that will increase the resolve that meat food gives us. And that's so ridiculously good because, again, harpies, lizards, and frogs all eat meaty stuff. So that's gonna increase our resolve by so much, and it's so needed. However, the 3-man ability might even be better, guys, because it will double our camp production. And if you remember, above my large head, there's an even larger proto-fungus that we are collecting from. So doubling up the camp usage will increase the speed at which we get, you know, those mushrooms, and then it will also increase the mushroom generation. Look at the bottom left. We already have +3 to mushrooms. That means we collected mushrooms 75 times already. So now we are getting 4 mushrooms every time a harpy picks from a proto-fungus, and that's an extra thing. We have harpies that have a proficiency at herbalism, so the herbalist camps are really good in this case. I want to cut into another glade again. I'm not even sure why. I think I'm looking for another gazier, so I decided to cut into another dangerous glade for more resources, I guess. Now I decide to move the second hearth hub from there, where there's no other resources there anymore. Remember, we just threw it down because of the dangerous glade event to not increase hostility. We're gonna destroy that, get all the resources back, and we're just gonna throw down the hearth next to the proto-fungus. It makes a lot of sense because there's a stonecutter camp there as well, the production building, but most importantly the proto-fungus. We're gonna throw down another gathering camp to gather from it because it's just so good. Like, you can't, I should have just created like 5 gathering camps there and get like thousands of mushrooms and then create thousands of crops, packs of crops to sell, to be honest. But anyways, we're just gonna move everything over there. It was kind of stupid because now all those harpy houses are basically null. They are void. They don't provide, I guess, heating for the harpies. So it's like those houses don't ever existed, and the storm is coming. So I should have waited, or I guess it's gonna be fine as long as we have 7 builders. We have so many idle villagers in this camp. It's ridiculous. We just need more resources, to be honest. We are kind of behind. We have, funnily enough, we don't have too many villagers, but we have too many idle villagers and 17 villagers out of a home. Most of those are frogs, but still. We just need to get on that frog game. We need to produce packs of building materials, get those frog houses up to level 3, so that every drizzle season we get free building materials, so we can snowball even harder with the frog houses. That is what we should be doing, but it's kind of difficult. I'm kind of trying to get that quest done to get more bricks and plank productions, you know, but we need another geyser for that, so it's all of a cluster F really at this point. I upgrade the frog houses, luckily. And this will push the frogs up just enough so we can boost the harpies throughout the storm and they don't leave us. Now we're gonna get one of the most useful cornerstones ever, the flame amulets, which will decrease hostility drastically for the woodcutters. Like I said, we are struggling for fuel, so throwing down a second woodcutter camp, like we only have one, is great. This dangerous glade is awesome. It's gonna give us something that we really need, boots. Now, I argued with the community before, I'm gonna argue again. I actually realized why boots suck so much in this game is because the 2-star boot recipe, the average that you're gonna get, like you shouldn't calculate averages with the 3-star cobbler, right? You gotta calculate with the 2-star whatever. It takes 2.5 minutes to create 10 boots. It takes too long, and creating leather just out of thin air without a wrench is not gonna be enough for long. Now luckily we do have the wrench, but if we didn't, we have those molted skeletons in a dangerous glade. That's another reason why it was awesome that we cut into there, but they're just not gonna last us that long. We also found some 2-star stones, 3 of them to be precise, and just in the nick of time because the stonecutter camp was running out of stone and we just really need stone for the frog house bricks, right? We did a good job of housing our frogs though. We have 21 frogs and only 2 of them are out of a building, so that's gonna be awesome. We find a random trader in a small glade. They always have some weird perks and cornerstones on sale that you cannot otherwise get. The druid hut seems like a good idea because of the oil. However, we don't really have anything to produce that oil with, right? Technically, we can use meat, but for the meat, we really want the meat just for jerky and the skewers and the paste. So it seems like a good idea to pick up the oil druid hut building, but we don't really have any way to feed that oil. Unfortunately, you cannot create oil through mushrooms, so we are kind of stuck right now in terms of fuel. Now we have 2 orders ready to be completed. However, we're not gonna complete the left order, the first one, because we want those building materials for the frog houses first to snowball harder, right? So we're not gonna complete it yet. And I never realized how annoying the ching ching whatever bling bling order complete sound is until I was in this position and I didn't complete it just from the get-go. Also, this is an interesting choice because we want to plus meat for the ranch, but we also really want +1 to the fuel at the blight post. It's extremely good. Also, we're gonna get some +1 to coal. There is coal on the map. I'm just checking because we cut into like 15 million glades and we haven't found any coal just yet. Just checking, okay? Kind of sucky that the one half where we are struggling with fuel doesn't have any coal, okay? But it is what it is. I haven't. Oh no, dude! I haven't picked up. Oh my god! I don't know what I'm doing in this game. Right now, I would have picked the other one, but I guess getting +2 meat is also kind of good. Finally, we're gonna throw down our wrench. If nothing else, luckily we have algae to feed the wrench. I kind of wonder if algae can be used to create oil with, but I'm guessing no, because I guess I would have picked up the druid hut from the trader if you could create oil from algae. The small glade that we cut into that had the trader did have another geyser pump, so we'll be able to at least complete that stupid quest for the +1 bricks and +1 planks soonish. Okay, we do need 20 fabric and 20 bricks or whatever to complete it, so that's gonna take some time to do. We're gonna throw another herbalist camp. Finally, we can complete that order. We had enough wildfire essences to create multiple hearths and upgrade multiple geysers, so I was worried about that, but we must have gotten some extra wildfire essences from some orders, because normally you don't start with enough, especially now that buildings cost more materials at this prestige level. Who would have thought harpies are leaving again in this storm as well? They are extremely unhappy. Happens all the time. We also have like 250% corruption, so that's not great. Even if you favor harpies, it's just not gonna be enough. I probably forgot to turn back the consumption control on them. So yeah, one of them leaves. And luckily just in time we get the consumption control back up on boots. We actually disabled consumption control we disabled frogs and lizards from using boots. So now only harpies use it, because let me tell you, when 3 races need boots and you have a tool shop up there, you're just... Even if you have a warehouse next to it, it just takes 2.5 minutes to create 10 boots. It's ridiculous how bad boot production is in this settlement, even though we have a 2-star boot production building. It's really bad. So yeah, another frog leaves, a firekeeper of all things, and another harpy builder leaves. I said this before, I spoiled this before in previous episodes. We're gonna pick Burn to a Crisp. Gain 20 coal for every 3 Blightrot cysts burned. I didn't used to respect this cornerstone at all, but in this settlement, again, I'm not really sure if you get more Blightrot cysts or if it's just a percentage, but we're gonna get more than 120 coal in this settlement just from burning Blightrot. It basically pays for itself, right? Imagine if I also could pick up... We're gonna buy some stuff from the perks like the Viceroy Survival Guide finally. We have enough money for that. Imagine if I also picked up the order that gave us +1 to the coal and the fuel. It wouldn't do anything with the coal that you get from this order, because it needs to... The plus... Good rule of thumb, guys. The +1 to resources, +1 to coal, +2 to jerky, whatever, is only for production. And production needs to have that little wheel of a villager working on something to create it, okay? So getting +1 to coal would not increase the cornerstone, the 20 coal that you get from the cornerstone giving us 21. It wouldn't do that. It also wouldn't increase the amount of coal that you get from Glade event rewards. It's only just producing coal in the mines, basically. Here we're gonna pick up the smithy. We can create some tools to complete some Glade event caches to win that much faster. We can also create some pipes and trade goods if we want to. I guess we might as well pick up the market, because again we have 3 hearths, and if we want level 3 on all 3 hearths like the previous crazy episode, if you haven't seen that one, check it out. We had a quest to have 3 level 3 hearths, and it doesn't sound that bad, but it's actually more difficult than it sounds. So we're gonna pick up the market. Might as well not spam the lizard clan hall multiple times, because stacking multiple service buildings doesn't actually do anything. Of the same service buildings, that is. It's year 6, so you know what that means. 172% corruption. Well, actually it's now 388% corruption. We really need to get on that, but so good that we picked up the Burn to a Crisp cornerstone just now. In the previous game, we picked it up right after we cleared like 400% corruption, and that felt bad, man. What a waste. Look at all these beautiful houses that we have in the second hearth area. Looks kind of wacky, to be honest. Awesome cornerstone. I really like this. Meat specialization and then grain bags on the other end. Jesus Christ. Root delivery line. Yeah, just reroll. Dork special ingredient. For every pickled goods produced, get skewers. Now, I'm just going to pick up reinforced axes. I'm not even going to lie, because fuel is still kind of an issue. But look at that. We actually survived. Let me go back a bit. 388% corruption, and we cleared most of it. Like 330%. So I'm not even sure how much coal that we got from it. Actually, I can see it on the top. It says 80. We got 80 coal burning 330% corruption. That's pretty good. So technically, reinforced axis is not even that good, guys, at this point. We don't even have to worry about woodcutting, but we do have the woodcutter prayer hostility reduction cornerstone, so might as well cut some wood, I guess. We are at 0 wood because we have to turn off the woodcutter camps throughout the storm to not incur some villagers leaving. At this point, it doesn't matter which buildings we're gonna pick up. There's a couple of other service buildings that we can throw down at the 3rd hearth, but we're just gonna pick up coats for the harpies finally. That will increase their resolve, and it will also increase their reduce the resolve debuff by -3. Or you know what I'm trying to say? The coats give a buff throughout the storm season, so instead of getting however much resolve deduction, 4 for each hostility level. Now it's 3 less, but I'm pretty sure it's not for every level. It's pretty sure, actually. That's a good point. What if it's 3 less resolve reduction for every level? That would be actually pretty insane. It's like, wow. I will have to check out the wiki for that or test it myself. But I'm pretty sure it's just free. It's like a flat increase. That's why boots are so much better than coats, because they give a 15% movement speed. That is insane. That's like having copper roads without roads. We're gonna buy some oil, complex food, and coats for the luxury goods that now we are producing very, very nicely. Look at that. We have 104 crops. Don't even really want to buy really other stuff from Shadani Stormfeather, but we might as well. Yeah, we have 2,300 mushrooms. Okay, that just made me laugh really hard in my head. Okay, we're just gonna buy up the entire stock of Shadani Stormfeather because might as well. Just want to win at this point. Still halfway to go, but it's not gonna take us long. Like this game, if you are 40% done with the reputation, you are basically like 80% done with the settlement, right? Look at that. We actually could have, for all that stuff, I'm not even sure why it costs so much. Look, it's like the auto thing feature doesn't even work properly. Look at that. Out of 2,300 mushrooms, we sold like 2,100 mushrooms. Shadani Stormfeather is gonna go home with like a giant proto-fungus on her trading card. That's kind of funny. 2,200 mushrooms. Jesus Christ. What are you gonna do with all those mushrooms, Mario? Believe it or not, we cut into another forbidden glade and we find a giant proto-wheat. The grain version of the giant fungus that we found. Might as well just cut into it, and not even sure why I cut into it because it's a hostility increase. Guess I just really need resources because mushrooms are just not enough, and the grain is really good at this point. It would have been much better to get it earlier, but then again we would have not found the proto-fungus then. So this game we just got really lucky, and hopefully we can win with all this good stuff. And right now at the end of the game, that's when we get offered the kiln. You know, the one building that could have saved us all that trouble with the stupid fuel. We never got it until this point. And at this point, it doesn't even matter. We got so many coal pieces. Through the blight burning, it feels like I'm Santa Claus handing out coal to all these bad harpy ladies, okay? Complete another order. And the stupid mother effing frogs are still not high enough resolve to generate resolve for us. I hate them so much. It's always been the frogs and the harpies. The frogs are always it's always been the lizards and the harpies. The frogs have always been just one under the look at now they're gonna start generating resolve in the storm season. That's so dumb. The fun thing about the giant proto fungus is that it also gives us dye. I've been wondering how I didn't run out of dye. I've just been offered the tincture, but I didn't need it because the proto fungus generates enough dye for the, you know, the pastes and the coats even as well, I think. So founding that giant proto fungus was so good on multiple levels. Of course, we have everything that we provided harpies with. You know, 2 of them don't have a house, but come on, like 20 of them do, and they are still gonna leave our settlement. We also have like 300%. Oh god, no. Actually, you know what? Yeah, the hearth gets corrupted here. Because we had 400% corruption and I didn't have anybody at the stupid blight rot post. Even though we had enough coal to produce a bunch of blight, whatever. But I just don't care, man. I just wanna... At this point, I remember I just wanted to get done. Because look at the bottom center. We are 95 or 90% already there, or like 85% there with the reputation points. Just get me out of this game. Jesus Christ, man. So year 8, drizzle season finally. Nobody is generating resolve, because why would we want resolve, right? To get out of this game as soon as possible. We completed all the orders, all 8 of them. We haven't completed the 9th one, because at this point we still haven't created training gear or wine, you know, the 2 things that we really needed for the frogs. But no matter. Trader leaves, we bought a bunch of complex stuff. High corruption, I just don't care, man, just get me out. Prestigious expedition 11, and this is how the entire settlement looks like. Okay, we had 17 plus 17 to mushrooms. Hang on, I just want to see how many reeds and clay we generated through that cornerstone. 7 plus 17 to mushrooms, 120 clay and reed. That actually helped us for creating bricks, you know, when we needed. We were running out of stone, kind of, and also overset paper, the fabric from the reeds. Plus 17 to mushrooms, burnt to a crisp. We gained, guys, 320, right? 320 pieces of coal from burnt to a crisp. That's ridiculous. I love that cornerstone now. What the hell? I just love it now. We got a bunch of hostility reduction through the hearths. More specifically, we should have made a 3rd hearth, but again, we had fuel problems, so... And this is how the entire settlement looks like. Look how big it is. This is the biggest, longest settlement I've ever created. Technically, this game didn't take nearly as long as a 2.5 hour run on one of the seals, whichever it was, but this is major. 0 fertile soil. I just want to remind you that the previous Martian game that we posted had fertile soil in the starting glade, fertile soil in the next dangerous glade that we just opened. So it's crazy variance in fertile soil. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel for other Against the Storm videos and future content. I will be working on the tips, the second tips guide, and maybe check out this video next on the screen right now.